Hey, my name's Hayley and welcome back to Atomic Sunflowers. We are talking about this little book right here, which is the Konmari method, the life-changing magic of tidying up. I'm up to the miscellaneous KOMONO, I'm pretty sure it's called, KOMONO, don't quote me on that, area of tidying up. That includes makeup and little bits and pieces. So here we are in my bathroom. This is the vanity, and I've decluttered a lot of this over the previous weeks because it was just so full of different bits and pieces. And then in my top drawer, I just have all my skincare products, like the Ordinary, those things are still in packaging. Yeah, everything's just kind of thrown in there. The bottom drawer is my partner's drawer, where again, everything's kind of thrown in there, but it's not my place to declutter his stuff. Then in the cupboard, under the sink, there is just everything thrown in here. So I've got different oils, I've got shampoos, conditioners, bags of things, first aid kits, you know, everything's just thrown in there because there's nowhere else to go. Then behind me, I have this little shelf here, which has just got little bits and pieces on top. This is the makeup I use every day, different body creams, those kinds of things. This drawer is just full of things that I barely use. This is my makeup down here, which a lot of this I don't even touch. I just use the everyday things, but you know, they're expensive as well. And when I go out, I wear a lot of these things and it's nice to have some things available still. But just a general getting rid of bits and pieces that I literally do not use is a good idea. And then this little bit here is just miscellaneous. So I'm just taking everything out of my top drawer first and decluttering that. I've got so much stuff in there, it's ridiculous. And it's all just shoved in there, like I don't even use half of the things. So it's going to be really, really good to go through everything and discard, declutter, donate, that kind of thing. These are where I ask the questions of, this doesn't really spark joy per se, like she recommends, but there are other guiding questions that you can use, like, will I use this in the future? Is this something that I actually need? Why did I buy this? Do I ever use this? Maybe you don't like the product either. So there's a lot of things that were like, nah, I didn't enjoy this whatsoever. This is just nothing for me. So if you just ask those kinds of questions, it becomes a lot easier to declutter and discard.
Hoping that you understand, you ain't the man to tell you in demand. Just pray to God we keep you in the plan. You ain't the man to tell you when to talk, but I've been on a mission since the day we brought up. Every time we dropping it, we know they thought of ways to bring me down, but when they hear, don't hear a sound. Guess that's the way you gotta act when nothing real has been around. Used to be on my own now, I got a team of my own now. What you tryna do? I see you coming for the squad, and boy, you bound to lose. Just realize it while you coming for him, that there's enough for all of us and everybody could win. But you keep spending all the energy on things that don't apply to you. I keep doing things that you would more than probably die to do. I keep doing things that teachers told you not to try in school, and you keep saying that it's cool, but someone must have lied to you. Cause about time that we feel this moment, about time maybe you deserve it. We just really tryna flex on them, flex on them. Keep the checks coming, let them know we next up. About time that we feel this moment, about time maybe you deserve it. Put the work in it, everything will work out. It's a life that we always talk about. I'm hoping that you understand, you ain't the man to tell you in demand. Just pray to God we keep you in the plans. You ain't the man to tell you in it. What they want from me, I can see it in their eyes. Ain't no commodity, but all they see is dollar sign. Buying stock in me.
This book has really transformed the way I think about a lot of things. I'm realizing more and more that it's going to take a long time to actually fully declutter my physical space. In the book, she does recommend 6 months of like full get into it, do it by category as well, which is a big thing I realized. When I was first starting to do it with like clothes, I was jumping back and forth between things because I had things in the same area. So I would declutter my shelf and then I'd be like, oh wait, no, I'm doing clothes. And then I just feel a bit overwhelmed sometimes. So it's good to actually do it in the structure that she recommends. It's also interesting to note that doing your non-sentimental items first is the key to all of this. If you start decluttering sentimental items, it becomes really difficult to actually get rid of things. Whereas when you do the easiest part first, it's becomes so much easier in the long term to actually start getting rid of things. And that's a lot that she talks about in the book as well. Another thing she talks about is your parents' house. She says your parents' house is not a storage space. Now, I am completely guilty of this. I think about all the things I left there when I was a kid, when I moved to the city away from my parents' house. I just would put boxes there and be like, oh, they can keep it. You know, keep my clothes that I don't want to chuck away, keep my documents that I don't want to chuck away, my school scores, things like that. And I haven't lived in my parents' house now for almost 10 years. Oh my God. Yeah, almost 10 years. And I still have stuff back there. So the more you declutter with your journey in your own space, you start to think about, I actually have things in the previous places that I lived at that I need to go back and sort out. So that's something I really need to do next year as well, is go and like sort out my other personal effects that I have scattered around in previous houses that I've lived in. A good thing that she talks about is not decluttering other people's things though. So I live with my partner and I am on this journey on my own, you know, like he has been inspired to do things from me. So right now he's decluttering all his CDs, he's putting all his physical CDs in a digital format on his computer so he can actually listen to them, because otherwise they just sit there and collect dust and that you never use them, you never listen to them, you never watch that DVD that you love because it's shoved all the way at the back of the shelf for, you know, later to watch, and then 5 years passed and you still haven't watched it. So he's realizing that, and that's what Mary talks about in this book a lot, is that you inspire other people to do things when you start doing things as well, like whether it be your family, your partner, or your children. They sometimes do it as well because they see that you're doing it, decluttering kind of journey, so they join you on your journey. Upon completing this book, I realized that she doesn't have anything on kind of mental declutter or digital declutter. Now, I know that this book is like kind of a couple of years old, but it's made me realize that how good it is to actually mentally declutter. And when you physically declutter your space, you begin to like mentally declutter as well. But there's a lot of things that you have in your mind that you need to like get out on paper. I'm a huge journal person. I love writing in my journal, which is why I'm really interested in bullet journaling for next year. But I found that's really helpful to actually mentally declutter as well, like everything that you need to get done. I usually do this on a Sunday and just bang it out on paper and get it out there. It's the same with digital decluttering. I've found that instead of going through every email that I have an email for both work and signing up for things, which is bad. And so it just becomes this mess of like all these different emails coming in. And instead of going through each individual email and deleting or unsubscribing from that list, every time I get an email that comes up on my phone and I don't want to be a part of it, I just scroll down and unsubscribe and do it little bit by little bit. That way it's not overwhelming and I'm not sitting there for hours going through all my emails, unsubscribing from things. I'm doing it as they come to me. A thing that's not really talked about a lot in these kinds of videos with this book in mind is that it takes a lot to actually declutter. You start decluttering things and then one of your rooms kind of becomes a storage place for things you want to sell. So in this case, it's this room that I'm currently in. Right now there's like clothes on the floor that I want to sell. There's things in the corner like a screen that we want to sell. There's books, there's my whole cupboard space. There's so much stuff in this room that needs to be sorted out and sold because it's become this room that's just like, okay, we need to sell some stuff, we need to discard some stuff, let's put it somewhere, let's put the things that we're going to discard or donate or sell in a place. And so this is what this room has become. I'm not overwhelmed by it though, because I know that eventually it'll be sold, donated, discarded, whatever it might be. So it just is going to take a little bit of time. This book has made me realize how much I need to learn further about things as well. This kind of is just the gateway, I guess. I knew that I knew a lot of things already about personal development and growth and things like that, but not much about actually decluttering. So this was a great read for that. It's super easy to read as well and takes you step by step through things, and it's something that you can apply, you know, years and years down the track. The same method is going to help regardless of how much time or technology advances or whatever. We're still always going to have to declutter our lives. So this book is timeless in that way. So I hope that you've enjoyed this like kind of 3-part review of this book. I've certainly enjoyed creating it. It's something that I really enjoy doing. I love making these videos. It's really a creative outlet, so it's been really fun. Go pick up this book and read it and do the practical tips in there, because it really is life-changing, as the title suggests, and you will not regret it at all. Okay, until next time, bye.